Yo, what is up, all my gamers? It's the Game Wizard, and today we're going to be talking about something else. It's not actually going to be a game, it's more of like talking about a game. So today we're talking about Team Fortress 2, more specifically hackers, and how to deal with them. I'm just going to be doing Aimbot today because I don't really know any other hacks, but I've been around Aimbot a lot because like casual mode and 2 Fort is like just hacker central. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to start off this video with a disclaimer and a warning. Disclaimer, this will not work 100% of the time, and I'm not responsible for failed attempts or retaliation. This is simply what I find works best against these people. And the warning, chat is not turned off in the background video, so viewer discretion is advised, or just don't look to the bottom left. Whatever floats your goat. Also, the background footage isn't relevant, it's just something to have while I talk. There's no hackers in the footage. The one time I want a hacker, I get none. Go figure. And it's only for Aimbot, since I don't want to confuse like other types of hacking with Aimbot, and I don't want to just get like a giant jumble and like mix up everything. So the other types of hackers will be discussed later, maybe. Anyway. First off, let's establish how to distinguish the difference between a hacker and a smurf or just a really good player. Hackers are usually low level in order to hide the hacks or skill or whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it. We're just going to call it hacks because that's what it is. He'll probably be wearing a gibbous and a used stock, but this isn't set in stone. Sometimes people just use their normal accounts, so it'll look a bit more normal or natural, but the kill feed and leaderboard will say otherwise. They're usually found on maps with big open sniper sight lines, so like 2 Fort is like a breeding ground for them. Smurfs are also low level, but that's just to hide their skill, and they have a main account with at least one unusual killstreak, strange, or Australian item. Or they're just really good at casual. Generally, you won't find them on Capture the Flag. Most of the time it's either payload, control point, or payload maps. Sometimes even high tower to troll, but rarely 2 Fort. And a good player is just a smurf without a second account. That's it. What else did you expect? Jeez. Alright, narrowing down the entire video to just hackers, there's 3 kinds. And these aren't like actual names, this is just what I call them. There's hard, medium, and soft aimbotters. Hard aimbotters are those guys who only play sniper and resemble a windmill in a Category 5 hurricane. Basically, the second they spawn in, they're spinning like crazy, and the second they detect a head in their sight line, you're dead. They don't even try to hide the fact they're hacking. They just want to see how much salt they can get in the chat before they get kicked and banned. Usually, these are on separate accounts, since it's so obvious it hurts. And they kind of don't feel like getting their main accounts banned, so they do that. However, sometimes they will play other classes, not just sniper. A good example, which I don't have footage of, is one guy on a 2 Fort match I played. He was at the top of our leaderboard and he camped the enemy spawn as heavy, but he was aimbotting. I'll explain how they knew it was an aimbot later, but for now let's just go on the medium aimbotters. Now, medium aimbotters are a bit more subtle. They still jitter, they only play sniper most of the time, but the jitter isn't nearly as severe. To the untrained eye or at a glance, they look like they're nodding yes at their last kill, or just like swerving their mouse everywhere because they missed a shot or something. However, you pay attention to them long enough, and you'll realize they're rather accurate for a level 7. They've hit the top of their leaderboard, and he won't stop getting headshots. Like, he only has headshots. Soft aimbotters are the most annoying to spot, because since they're so easy to mistake for a smurf or a good player, these people will play most classes except medic or engineer, and even then, sometimes they play battle medic, or they'll play battle engineer, or they'll have a wrangler with them. These people suck to play against because something's off and you know it, but you don't want to call hacks because then they'll end up just being like a good player, or you just don't know how to call hacks properly. Most of the times these guys all get almost to the top of the leaderboard, but they'll hide themselves by staying off the top, but they're insanely accurate and tend to get you no matter where you cross their sniper sight line. Most of the soft aimbotters I've seen actually like to use the loose cannon and double donk everything, and only double donk. They may miss a few shots to hide the aimbot, but it'll be like a super obvious just, oh, you're in front of me, I'm gonna shoot left. So I look like I'm just stupid. but all the shots that connect are deliberate, knowing, and are always lethal. Alright, so let's say you think you found a hacker, but you're not sure since it's a medium or soft aimbotter. A good test to do, it usually only works if you're being spawn camped like I mentioned previously, is the cloak and dagger test. For those of you who don't know, for some reason, the cloak and dagger test consists of going spy, cloaking yourself, and opening the spawn doors in 3 different places. Generally, you should go like left to right, but don't always do the same thing, because then even like non-hackers can predict that. Another thing you could do is just stand next to somebody who's opening the door as well. If you both die while you're cloaked all 3 times by the same person, you've got a hacker. Less accurate method, but still a big clue, is using the dead ringer, escaping spawn and using a disguise. Most of the time this won't work due to sticky traps, but if you get immediately killed with a disguise on, then you're probably facing a hacker. Now, there's a few ways to deal with all these. The biggest, easiest to say, but hardest to do is to tell the other team to kick their aimbotter. Now, 93.27% of the time, this won't work, since they're probably being carried by said hacker, but in the rare occasion they do, congrats. Have fun in your hacker-free match that probably will last less than a minute since they kicked their hacker after they capped the 3rd intel, got to the end of the last payload point, or have cleared the sentry nest on the last point of powerhouse. The second way to deal with them, and this is probably when you have to use constantly because the first one barely ever works, is to build an Uber charge in the resupply spawn room. Have a scout Boston Basher himself while the medic heals him, then use the Uber with a pyro, demo, or even soldier. With all the splash damage, you'll be able to at least wound or even kill the hacker if you're lucky enough. The last and most difficult is to play outside the box. Use exploits, spy swarm, walk in ways the shooter can't predict. This one rarely works, but it is so satisfying when it does. The only real way I've seen this work is with the huntsman and just quick scoping headshots. Sacrifice a teammate for extra time to headshot the guy if you need to, since reloading still affects the hacker. If none of these work, then you have one last option. Leave the match. Just leave. Whatever. You're not going to get banned in the casual match for leaving. You can't just can't rejoin the server for a bit. It's simple, effective, but then you have to deal with matchmaking. Well, there you go. How to deal with Aimbot. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe for the notification and updates on my channel, and I'll see you all later. Keep on gaming. Oh, and on a side note, stop killing friendlies when the round hasn't even started. There's no point. You're just marked as a jerk. It's pointless. Just stop. Stop. Don't be that scout. That gibbous scout that just runs up and tries to pretty boy pocket pistol you in the middle of a match. Or like, not even when the round started. You're just standing on the point, Kazaski kicking with the enemy spy, but he decides to try and kill you anyway until like one of your friendlies just decides.